Hello everybody, welcome back to Charlie's Train Journeys and welcome to my very first Q&A on the channel. As you can see, I'm not in my usual spot at the moment, and that is because I'm on holiday in Yorkshire. I'm actually staying in a cottage very close to Pickering Station, so I've been spending a lot of time on the North Yorkshire Moors Railway, my favourite heritage railway. We try and come back here at least once a year, maybe twice, depending on what locos are going to be running in the gala. So I really enjoy spending my time here. And yeah, since I've been here, I've done lots of cool activities. You would have seen lots of videos on the channel. Obviously, I've seen Tornado in both weeks so far, which has been great. It's up here for 2 weeks. And I think its last day is the 8th of August. So yeah, that's been really good to get some proper footage and spend some time riding behind that loco. I've also done other things. I've been on dining trains. One of them you saw in my very first vlog on the channel. That was the Pullman dining service, the 3-course meal one. That was brilliant. And the one I recently did was yesterday. So that would have been Sunday for you guys. And yeah, that was, I think it was like a ploughman's afternoon tea service, and that was to celebrate Yorkshire Day, which happened on the Saturday. So that was really good. I didn't vlog that one, but yeah, we did that. And yeah, I've done other things like the Leversham Trail. I've got another one planned, which is, I think it involves starting at Goathland, walking sort of under and over the railway along that sort of path, and then coming round into Beckhole and then going up the rail trail. So yeah, I'm going to vlog that as an experience too. But yeah, there's been lots of other things going on. The latest thing that I've done was today, so this would have been Monday. And yeah, I did a Gromont engine shed tour. Now, that was really good. I highly recommend it. The 2 tour guides that we had, Paul and Paul, funny enough, they were absolutely brilliant. And we even saw Tornado go right past the MPD, which was great. So got some nice close-ups of Tornado too. So yeah, it was really good. And one of the Pauls actually subscribed to the channel. So if you are watching this video, Paul, thank you. And yeah, I appreciate your time yesterday talking to you as well. So yeah, lots been going on. And yeah, if any of you have any questions about the locomotives, you know, what locos are running, how the overhauls are getting on with some, I've got loads of info on that. Please leave them in the comment section of this video and I will try and answer them for you. So yeah, it's been really good. I've also met some subscribers while I've been here. I've met too, obviously David, I met on Wednesday when I went to ride on Tornado in the evening. Pleasure to meet you, David. It was really, really great to chat with you and your wife. And I met someone else today. I met someone called Tim. So Tim, if you're watching the video, pleasure to meet you as well. I really hope that your son enjoyed the Class 40 Peak diesel that you bought him today. So yeah, let me know how much he enjoyed that. But yeah, so it's been a wonderful holiday, a great trip, and I'm here until Saturday. So I've got a few more days, got a few more things planned. And yeah, I'll be back home probably filming some model railway content. So yeah, anyway, let's get on to the questions. That was a very long intro. We're going to start with Todd Wainwright. Thank you, Todd. You left me loads of questions all about model railway, which obviously I absolutely love. So half of Todd's comment says, I'd really like to know more about your current track layout. Did you use any rail software? What was your inspiration for the design? What brands are the model buildings and stations, etc.? And what grass underlay did you use? Thank you, Todd. I'm going to start with your first question. So in previous years, I've never used any rail software before to plan my track layouts. I'd always do it live. So I'd just get the boards out, put my underlay on and just get all my track out and just piece it together randomly and just sort of see what I'd come up with. But this year, I wanted to add a few more non-negotiable parts to the track plan that I had to use a software to try and piece it all together. So the software that I actually used was something called Scarm 2. I used the free version because I didn't know if I would like using a software to plan. But yeah, so I had to kind of plan like one half of it, take a picture of it, and then I'd run out of pieces to use on the free version. So I'd have to delete it all and then do the other bits. So yeah, it was a little bit awkward, but hey, when I had loads of free time, it was hours of fun. But yeah, so I use that. I probably will buy some kind of full version track planner for the future, particularly now I do YouTube. It would be nice to do some track planning videos. I don't know, if there's interest there. But yeah, so I have this year, but in previous years, I used to just go off the cuff, really. In terms of the inspiration for the design, to be honest, there's lots of different elements that have gone into it to make it what it is. There's not sort of one thing. I'll go through a few of those. So I do have some non-negotiables, as I've mentioned, one of which is to have an end-of-line terminus for each loop, an end-of-line station, because in a real heritage railway, a train departs one end of the line and finishes at the other, and then runs around and then pulls it back, right? So I wanted that appeal. So for me, that was, that was a game changer. I introduced those probably to my layouts around 3 years ago. And that is always something that I've wanted to include. A massive change this year is I can now run 5 Mark 1s, and it, like with the Gresley Teaks, because they're a little bit smaller, or the Collet GWR coaches, I can run 6 and still have the space to run around. So my big express passenger trains have now increased in size because of that, as well as my goods trains as well. So that's been a massive win. The next thing is having the main station out of the loops that go round, because for years I had the station and the trains would loop through the station, so it didn't really have that kind of feel that the train was going on a journey. Yeah, that was a big change, and it's allowed me to, swap different rolling stock a lot easier, because you're not sort of waiting for a train to finish before you can take that off with your hands and put the others back on. You can sort of position it, shunt it, take out the sidings. I'll come on to those in a minute. And yeah, so it added a new layer of realism, and you could essentially have multiple things going on. You could have trains looping in the middle whilst you're shunting in the main station and in the yard, and that's just opened up huge modeling opportunity. So, and I've really enjoyed that. And then the other things, I mentioned the sidings. That's my own interpretation of what you see at Switherland sidings on the Great Central Railway. I've got my main station, which is all Dunster GWR themed from the West Somerset Railway. But as I've mentioned, the interchangeable aspect of my layouts each year allows me the opportunity to, mix and match, change things. I might feel like, oh, do you know what? I want to go for a bit more of a northeastern feel with Goathland and stuff like that. Or I can go a bit more GWR, which is what I've done this year, and just mix it up a bit. In future years, I might go more southern region, because my southern region stock is now getting a lot bigger. So yeah, that's kind of what I'd say in terms of my inspiration for the design. Is, there's some non-negotiables, but equally, depending on what you see and what you feel like you want as part of your railway that year, those are kind of, you think back to your heritage railway visits and you think, oh yeah, actually I want to get a little bit of that, a bit of a taste of that on the layout, etc. So yeah, hopefully I've answered your question there. Brands of model buildings and stations, bit of a mix, most of which are Scaledale, which is Hornby, or Scenecraft Bachmann. I do buy resin buildings that are already pre-made, pre-designed, painted, etc., because I just simply don't have the time to, or the interest really. I'm not a very patient person. I know you have to be very patient in this hobby, but for me, it's all about running the locos, and the scenery is a big part when you're building the layout, of course, but with my setup, I will never be able to get every blade of grass in the right place and every type of tree that is in a particular, I can't do that. So there are things that I do want to do in terms of, creating specific things. Like I've got a Dapple turntable which, you know, I've got an idea of what I could do with that for next year's layout. So I'm excited to build that, paint it, you know, grey it up, weather it, all of that sort of stuff. And then, you know, try and see if I can use it. Yeah, I've got a great idea for that for next year, but I'm not going to sort of spoil it now. So yeah, that's, you know, most of which is all just kind of pre-made stuff. But yeah, when I get a bit more time, it'd be nice to, you know, build some proper kit built stuff, because then you start modeling the things that you like. But I also want to build some more scenery stuff. So for example, the tunnel that you see, that I think I call it Castle Hill, uh, that I built myself a few years ago. I'd like to do more of that kind of stuff, because, you know, it's a little easier to store and it doesn't dominate the layout, so I can do other things on it. But yeah, so that's kind of, you know, most of the brands that I use. But yeah, hopefully in the future I'll be able to create my own stuff. In terms of grass underlay, I just use, I can't remember the brand, but it's just like a really thin grass layer. To be honest, I probably need to get a new one because I've had this one for years and years. But yeah, if you comment on my next model railway video when I'm back, I'll be able to tell you which brand it is and let you know. So yeah, Todd, great questions. Thank you very much for those. The next question is from Flying Welshman 93, and he says, I may have a difficult question for you. Your favourite Big Four companies in order. I find it impossible myself. Flying Welshman, that is a superb question. Yeah, my first one is, I know that one. It's the other three that I'm still not sure about, but I'm going to go for it. So my first one is Great Western. That for me is my favourite Big Four company. There's just lots about Great Western that I really enjoy. It's obviously got a huge extended history. Obviously, Great Western was pre-grouping to start with, and then it became one of the big railway four companies. So I think that for me, you know, was massive. Also, there's a lot of people out there that find Great Western boring, and, you know, I struggle with why they think that, because, you know, two-tone whistles, fantastic. Obviously for me, it helps that I can do a Great Western whistle. That's always a big plus. But, you know, the tapered boilers, I really sort of like the architect and the shape behind those. I love the crosshead as well. The Great Western tick. I mean, I still don't know how that tick occurs. If someone can let me know in the comments, that would be great. But I just find that really interesting. And the best thing for me, the noise that them things make, especially the single chimney castles and halls. Wow. Yeah, Great Western is my favourite. My second favourite, I think, has got to be LNER. And, you know, I say that because I love the big express passenger locos. I love the shape of the A4s. The chime whistle for me is awesome. I love that. And, you know, Sir Nigel Gresley has just designed some very unusual locomotives. You know, the Hush Hush being one. I've really enjoyed having that as a model on the channel for a period. That was great fun. And there's quite a few preserved out there as well. You know, there's some unusual ones, and there's some, you know, some really famous ones. So yeah, I think LNER for me would be second. Third, this is a tricky one, because I like the LMS. I like the goods locos in the LMS. I love the 8F. I think that is one of the best locomotives out there. The noise that those things make are superb. The Black Fives are wicked. You know, again, Stanier just got it right, didn't he? With the noise of those locomotives, they are just astronomical in terms of the, you know, the volume and the thunder. You can always hear a Black Five, for sure. And of course, you know, 47279, the Ginty at Keighley and Worth, that is my favourite loco of all time. I've just got an affection for that. So I'd probably go LMS as my third choice, and then Southern Railway would be my fourth. But I just want to stress that my second to fourth are all quite close. And, you know, I love the merchant navies. I think they are brilliant Southern region machines. and the Battle of Britain class as well, or the span cans as they're also commonly known as. I really like them too. So yeah, very tricky, great question, but yeah, Great Western is my top for sure. Owen Hardy 4592 is next, and he said, will you ever get some more diesel locos, or are you mainly going to stick with steam? Now, Owen, I will say this, I will always stick with steam. Steam is just where I feel most passionate about. Obviously, you know, I bought a Deltic this year because that model from Hornby, you know, it's the best Deltic that can ever be made. And, you know, the Deltic was iconic, especially with the livery, the time period that it came out. You know, it was kind of the diesel that changed everybody's thinking. You know, this is the future. And I like the kind of historical aspect that the Deltic offers. And obviously there is a preserved one in real life. And yeah, I felt like it was a difficult one to not purchase. So yeah, I wanted to have it as part of the collection, and it's been great, you know, fitting it with a sound chip and, you know, hearing something different on the layout. I've obviously got an '08 shunter, and, you know, my long-term aspiration is to buy an Acura scale one. Obviously, Acura scale, if you weren't aware, they are creating more '08 shunters at the moment. I think they are due at the end of the year, or maybe next year early, maybe Q1 next year. I can't remember. But yeah, I'd like to upgrade my Bachmann '08 shunter for one of those, because they're going to be incredible. But in terms of adding any new diesels, I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet. I think the only one that I probably would add is an Express Blue, or BR Blue, sorry, with a yellow front, Class 37. You know, a bit like the one that you've seen on the channel that's at the North Yorkshire Moors Railway. For me, the Class 37s, they are the old, aside from the Deltic, they're kind of the do-it-all diesel. You know, they sound great, they look good. You know, I just, and I like the blue and yellow aspect of it. So yeah, I think, you know, I might try and see if I can get you know, a diesel, a Class 37 diesel in the future. But for now, I just haven't got that. You know, I basically, if I see a diesel and I'm like, that's a really nice model, I'd love to have one of those, then I think, but actually I'd rather spend that money on this steam locomotive. That's how I feel at the moment. So who knows? In the future, you know, at the time that I've been here, I thought, oh, would I start converting to more diesel locos? Would I be more interested in it? I'm not feeling that just yet. Maybe I need to spend a bit more time investing my time into some of these diesel locos. But yeah, so I do have plans to upgrade my '08 shunter, maybe look at a Class 37 in the future. But for now, steam is where it's going to be at for the foreseeable. So those were the main questions that were left. So thank you, Todd. Thank you, Flying Welshman, and thank you, Owen, for those. I hope you've enjoyed my answers to them. There were some other questions in the comments section from some videos since I've been here. So yeah, I'm not sure if you actually specifically left them for me for this Q&A, but I'm going to throw them in anyway. So here we go. So Jungle 77-T5T said in one of my comment sections, are you excited for when the P2 gets finished being built? And he also added that it would be around 2 years. Now, the P2, I have to say, that will be, I think, the most popular locomotive new build that there's ever been. I think it will pass Tornado. I think it will pass, you know, Beachy Head and Betton Grange for sure, because that loco is totally unique to anything that is out there. You know, a massive LNER Express passenger loco, you know, with 4 huge driving wheels on each side. Just, it's so iconic in terms of the shape and design that I think it's going to be incredible. That will, and if they produce it in LNER livery, everyone's going to want to see it. I would assume that that would be suitable for health and safety to run on the main line. So if it does, then goodness me, it's going to be up there with Sir Nige, with Duke of Gloucester, with Flying Scotsman, I think. So yeah, I think when that comes out, it's going to be unbelievable. And I'm really pleased that I bought a Hornby model of it at the time, because I can convert. In fact, I have converted it to sound. So yeah, it's when that thing comes out in real life, I know that'll be a loco that I will want to run all the time. So yeah, really excited for that. Jungle 77. 2010 Ditter, Tim, as I know you, you said in one of my comments, will you be taking the trip to Whitby whilst I'm here in Yorkshire? I'd planned to, but I'm not going to. And the reason being is because obviously it would be nice to go on a steam train to Whitby like I did last year, but it's also something that, you know, I've done quite a lot in the times that I've been here. And there are other seaside towns that we like to visit. So yeah, might not go to Whitby on the train this time around, but hey, gives me an excuse next year to do that. So we shall see. Lego Boy underscore Brick, a regular interactor with the channel, left me a few questions on one of my videos, and he said, have you seen Gromont Engine Shed? Which steam locos have you seen? Have you seen Goathland, the Hogsmeade station in Harry Potter? And did you see Omaha, the S160? So yes, 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 and yes. There we go. That's cleared that up. No, so I have been to Gromont Engine Shed, as I mentioned. So yeah, if you've got any questions, Lego Boy, then please leave them down below if you want to find out more. Locos I've seen pretty much every one now. I've done that tour. So, but in terms of steam engines that are fit for running or nearly fit for running, I've seen Omaha, which you saw a brief cameo on the channel for that. Tornado, of course. I've seen number 29, Peggy, the Lambton tank, but I haven't seen it running, but I know it's fit for running. I've seen Eric Tracy. I've seen the other Black 5, 44806. They are currently not running. I think 44806 is close to being ready to come back out again, maybe in a few weeks or so. But Eric Tracy, it's a bit touch and go for that one because its boiler ticket runs out very soon. The plan is that they're going to get it ready for the gala, but I'm not sure they're going to do it. I think they want to, but it's looking unlikely. So I don't know if you'll see Eric Tracy again until it's had its complete overhaul. So, but we will see, you know, that Heritage Railways can pull off miracles, especially with lots of support. But I think the railway's been hit massively financially this year because of the ban of steam on the main line to Whitby. That's brought in less consumers. They're obviously not running as many steam trains because they've been able to run Tornado because Tornado is built to haul 12 passenger coaches at 80 miles an hour. It's a massive loco. It's modern technology for steam engines. So up and down here with 5 coaches, it's not working very hard at all. It's working at 25% of its overall power. So it's not causing any fire risk at all, which is why they've been able to run it every single day. So yeah, I've seen obviously Tornado. I've seen what else? Repton. Repton's been steaming a little bit in the yard, and I think it's coming out tomorrow. So Tuesday, you're watching this on Tuesday, so it should have been out today, pulling the lunchtime Pullman. So yeah, that's its kind of first test up and down the line since it's had some work done. And then it's meant to take the final stint between Gromont to Whitby and back at about 4:30, I think. So that's what it's been rotated in for tomorrow or Tuesday. The 9F is unhealthy at the moment. It's having a lot of work done. It had a leak that went into the smoke box. So yeah, they've had to sort all that out, weld some stuff together. It might not be fit to run properly until next year. So obviously it's advertised to run in its gala in September, and it's also meant to be going to the Bluebells Gala, which is, I believe, the middle of October, which I'm going to with Duke of Gloucester there as well. So I don't know whether they're just going to bodge it together to get it through those galas or they're going to have to not run it. I'm not sure. That's a bit touch and go. But anyway, like I said, if you've got any more questions on any of the other locos, please do leave them down below. So the last couple of questions came from my short videos, and one of them was the visit I took to TMC, or the Model Centre. And I said in that video, which S160 do you think I bought? And lots of you commented below and were asking which one. and unfortunately nobody got it correct. So a lot of you said, is it Omaha? Obviously, logically, you know, I'm here at the North Yorkshire Moors. I can see why people would guess that, but it's not. And I'm going to tell you which one it is. It's actually Big Jim. Now, the reason why it's Big Jim is I love the Keighley Worth Valley Railway, and the same video that I always used to watch as a child with 47279 Ginty in, the S160 appeared in that video, so I used to see it quite a lot. I then saw it at Keighley Worth. I think, when was that? Back in 2023, around the same time that the Flying Scotsman was there. And yeah, I just always liked that livery and that specific loco. So yeah, my affiliation to that train built up more than it has for Omaha. This is the first time I've ever seen Omaha in person. So yeah, because I think it was at the Dartmouth or Paignton and Dartmouth Steam Railway for years before moving up here. So yeah, so Big Jim is the one I've got, and I will be doing an unboxing and getting it running for the first time on the layout when I'm back. So look forward to that as some new content. And the final short video was of my train whistle in the Gromont engine shed tunnel. Now, I had lots of comments on that, and you know, it didn't go viral, but it got a lot of views and a lot of interaction. And I think people are really surprised that I can do a whistle like that. Obviously, if you've been a subscriber for a long time, you would know that this is something I do every so often just for a bit of fun in different places. But yeah, lots of you are saying, oh, can you do a tutorial? How do you actually do it? And you know, what other whistles can you do? So I'm not going to do a tutorial because I think the fun aspect is, you know, not knowing how I do it. But to be honest, it's quite a simple technique, although it took me a long time to learn. So that's what I'll say on that in terms of how to do it. But yeah, I mean, the whistles I can do variations of the standards. So I can do the 2, the 4, the 5 and the 9. So yeah, I can do different variations, different pitches of them. Great Westerns I can do, they kind of sound similar to the standards. So yeah, I can do quite a few different Great Westerns. I can do the 2-tone. I'm going to have a go live. Sort of like that. I don't know if that looked really odd, me doing that, but hey ho, it's in the video. And then yeah, there's a couple of, you know, little variate, like I can do the Q6 whistle. Obviously that's a bit higher pitched. And I can do, you know, a few of the NYMR express passengers, like the Flying Scotsman's high pitch, Tornado's high pitch. I'm working on, not quite nailed that, but yeah, I'm close. But I tell you one thing, the ones that I can't do the Merchant Navy with that technique. I can't do that. I can't do the Staniers, so like the Black Fives, the 8Fs, I can't do them, or the Iverts. And I can't do the chime. I can't do the LNER chime, the Gresley chime. I just can't do it. So yeah, I will try and learn those whistles, but with the technique that I use to do the others, I can't do those types of whistles. So yeah, might have to be a new technique for those, but we'll see. Anyway, guys, that's going to wrap the video up for today. I hope you've enjoyed the Q&A. I hope I haven't talked for too long. I'll try and edit it a little bit and cut out the nonsense. But yeah, thank you to those that have left questions. In the next couple of days, I'm going to be doing another vlog of me doing a walk near Goathland Station, where I'm going to be passing under and over the line, the 1 in 49 gradient, which I'm really excited about. So yeah, and I'll be visiting Beckhull, TMC probably again, just to show you around there, and doing the rail trail. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm hoping that by the end of the week there is some more steam trains coming out of the sheds, because they just need some rain. If they get some rain, Repton will be out, Omaha will be out, Peggy will be out. So yeah, my fingers are crossed. If not, I'll just go on another ride behind Tornado, because why not, since it's here. But yeah, so in terms of content, that's what will kind of happen. There'll be probably two more videos before I'm back doing more model railway content. But until then, guys, thanks again. And like I said, if you've got any more questions down below, please just ask in any of my videos. And the moment I get enough questions, I'll do another Q&A, and that's how we'll do it. So anyway, hope you've enjoyed me using the new mic. hopefully the audio has come through pretty well, and yeah, I look forward to uploading my next video. So thanks again, guys, and I'll see you again soon.